Hello, I'm George Gonzalez, and I'm obsessed with making games. And today we're going to talk about leveling up. And the whole point I make these videos is not for YouTube. It's not to gain a lot of members, likes, or subscribes. Although I appreciate those, my main focus is to pass on knowledge uh, that will help you. My goal is to help you be able to finish games. That is my why I do this. I love making games. I make games every day, and my focus is not to make pretty videos or eye-catching videos. It's just informational, and I'll try to improve that. But you might not see them super catchy. I will try to improve on the title and what they say so that you can find these videos if you need them or if you want to share them. I just love making games, and I help people. I have a community and game devs where I personally help each individual with their game, because a lot of these things are applicable regardless of what platform, what engine you use. It doesn't matter. They're principles that will be useful for you right now, 10 years ago, or 10 years from now. The main reason why I share these is because I wish someone out there would have shared these with me when I was starting out. And we're going to go over how to avoid pitfalls, distractions, so that you can focus on actually finishing the games. And this is based on experience that I've had with my successes and also with other people that have not had the same success. As I observe others and done this, I want to share 4 tips that will help you stay focused and within scope. The first thing I want to share with you is that these matter depending where you're at. And so that's why I have these on the side in green. This is my focus for Thursdays, is leveling up. When you first start and you have no idea what's going on, the first thing you need to get familiar with is the pipeline of where you're going to build your stuff in, like in a mobile, PC, VR. So once you can build a game in the platform of your choice, then you are level 1. From level 1 to level 2, you're just building skills. You're trying to learn things. You're making game jams until you feel comfortable with yourself. Usually 100 prototype ideas or skills that you've collected is good to start level 2. So now once you're level 2, you actually want to make games. And then from level 2 to level 3 is you can actually finish games you understand. You've published a game. Level 3, you want to understand the genre, and you want to really understand what your audience, the things that you're making, the game, and really be able to tweak the things that are in that genre so that you could please an audience. Actually, and then move on to level 4, which is make games that sell. And from there, once you make games that sell, you'll probably start needing a bigger team, and that's level 5, scaling your team. Once you scale your team and you actually know how to acquire a good talent that's actually profitable for you still, you need to figure out, okay, how are you going to lead a team? Actually, not just making games, but also having a win-win situation where your studio is profitable and everyone's happy and everyone's invested in the games that you make. They can make successful games. And that's the gist of everything that I help you with. So let's start with what is the first tip that I would give you? And each one of these tips is going to have a little spin to it that's unique to the principles that I teach to help you finish your games. Because oftentimes these words that you're going to hear get thrown around a lot, but they don't make sense. And so we're going to be specific with these words. I'll show you how. Okay, so the first one is purpose. And a lot of people are like, oh, why do you make games? And like your passion, your purpose, right? But I mean your purpose as what are you trying to get out of the game? Like, what are you trying to do right now with your life? And why did you choose games? Are you wanting to work for a game company, right? Do you want to gain talent and be hired as a developer, as an artist, whatever it is? And that's why you want to make this game? Do you want to have a portfolio piece? Or do you want to build your own studio eventually? Or do you want to do both, right? Like, and so you have different stepping stones to there. You want to work for a studio, gain the experience that you need, and then move up to create your own studio? Or do you want to go straight to making your own studio? Is this a hobby? If it's a hobby, it's a lot different, but you still need to be aware of how much time you're spending and making your time count. But the main thing is, what is your purpose? What are you trying to do? And also, where are you right now? Because that is critical. I've seen a lot of developers that never published a game and they want to skip right to 5 and 6. Like, oh, I never published a game, but you find funding and then you spend a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years funding a game. You don't even know if it's going to be profitable, but you think you can skip to level 5 and 6. That's why I have these levels, because they're a progression in how you improve in a way that you can understand and learn what you need to at the time, because you can't just skip it. People try and people do so and they get burnt out. And so that's why it's important. The purpose has to be aligned to also where are you today, because if you want to skip that, it's not going to be as fun. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to lose a lot of time if you're not spending money, and you're going to be frustrated with the result. So this will save you a headache, and it will let you know if you're in the right track. If you go from level 0 to level 6, you'll be able to make it in steps. And some of these take a long time, even from level 1 to level 2, like the skills. That is what people call tutorial hell. But see, the problem is people hate tutorial hell because they're learning, and this takes a lot of time to learn skills and patience to not go full on game. Because you make a game jam and you're like, oh, this is awesome, I'm gonna make a game. And then you just skip all the other skills that you need, and then you get frustrated and then you quit. Or you're still working on the game that you started 10 years ago. So that's why it's important. Like, don't skip. Okay, so the purpose. Why are you trying to do this? Okay, once you have that, we're gonna move on to goals. Okay, so how are you gonna get there? Again, that's why the goals are important, because you're like, okay, I am at level 0. I need to get to level 1, and you start to focus. You go from super broad, like you want to get a job at Blizzard, okay, or you want to build your own studio and make $1 million a year. What is your next goal? Well, do you know have you published games? Okay, your first goal is to publish game. Do you have the skills to publish them? No. Okay, then you need to go down, and that's how you know. Like, do you have experience making game jams, or do you know how to code? Do you need to learn how to code? And these narrow down. So, what is your next goal in the big overarching scheme of things? So, that is the main focus. What is your goal? The goal helps you align and zero in on exactly what is priority number 1. That makes sense. Priority number 1. That is the whole point of the goal, is to help you put it up. If you need a sticky note or a physical, like if you're gonna do a poster, this is my goal right now, and put it up every time you sit down to work on your game. That is your goal. Oftentimes, here's another example. Developers will, and this happens to me too. You have a goal, you want to make a game, but then you run into things like, oh, people are getting sued. Should I get a license? Should I get a trademark? Should I use AI or not? Like, dude, until you have problems with that, don't worry about it. Your main focus at the beginning, which is 90% of people that watch these videos or are out there on YouTube, have not made a game. Or if they made a game, it hasn't been popular. My advice is, don't worry about it. Like, if it's legal or outside of coding and it's like way over scope business-wise, you don't need to worry about it. Until you make games and they're profitable, you don't need to worry about any legal issues right now. You are just trying to get something out the door. That's it. That's why like so many people don't finish games, because you start wondering about other things that don't matter to you. Even art style is not a huge thing. You can change that anytime. You can, if you make your code really good and single responsibility principle and solid principles, you will have a game that you could just take out the art and put other art on top. Do not worry. Even the art is not that important. The main thing people want is to play a game. Like, they want to have fun. And so first, be able to do that. Create a core loop, create a game, and ship it. Put it somewhere. Have people test it. That's the main thing. But focus on that. Do not let distractions get in the way. And how do you know if it's a distraction? Well, think about the goal. What is your goal? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to gain skills? Are you trying to finish? Are you trying to make a profitable game? You know, a lot of people worry about social media and what they're going to do for social media. It's like, if your game is not profitable, who cares what you do? Because you could spend $1 million in ads and make it hire. Even if you hire a team and you spend $1 million in getting everyone to know your game. Let's say 100 people in the world know your game. Will they play it? Will they pay for it? Will they have fun? You don't know. And if you don't know, why are you wasting money trying to get everyone to know about your game? Make it fun, and then you can sell it. The first thing is finish it. Like, if you don't have a product, don't worry about it. So first, learn how to finish games, and then you can worry about all the other stuff. But you can't do that at the same time that you're focusing on other things. Okay, the third thing is planning. Okay, so now you have a goal. We talked a little bit about planning, but what are you going to do to get to that goal? Right? If it's skills, game jams, you want to be consistent. You want to be efficient with your time. Okay, so when you are learning things, you want to make sure you write them down somewhere, that you are keeping track of what you're learning, because that will give you an idea of what you're doing, that you're making progress. So for whatever goals you have, you need to make plans. You need to figure out, and not just like, oh, plans for the sake of plans. Oh, today I have this. But a good example is, let's say I need to make a game, and there's certain features that it needs, and I know how to make them. I just need to put in the time. And so at the beginning of the week or at the beginning of the month, I have a list of things to do, and I say Monday I'll do this, Tuesday I'll do this, Wednesday I'll do this. And when Wednesday comes, you're like, I know I have to do this. So today I'm not gonna get off my computer until I finish this one task, and that's it. And if it takes longer, I'll figure out why. But and then if you don't finish it because it went over scope, okay, I'll push it till tomorrow. But you have to figure out that timeline. Make plans, because if you don't make plans, you don't know if you took longer or not. Oh, I'll just go into the computer and work. It just work for the sake of working. that it will get you into trouble because you'll start wondering and wondering like, oh, what am I doing? And you lose track of time, and it's like, oh man, like all these negative feelings that come from making games usually stem from unmet needs or unmet expectations. So you have a certain thing that you have an expectation of how things are going to turn out, and they're not that way because rarely are things how you expect them to be. But you have a plan and you get it done. That's the expectation, right? And if that expectation doesn't meet your needs, or one, the plan was wrong and it doesn't meet your needs, you don't get to the goal. Okay, then your plans are wrong. But at least you know where it's wrong. Now, if your plans are right, but you didn't get it done, then you know you can't get done what you need to do. So you can plan it, but you can't get it done. And so you need to improve your ability to get things done. Does that make sense? So planning gives you an idea of where things are going wrong. And you can figure out, you can solve it. It's just an issue, right? You just figure it out. And that's why I have endgame devs, because we can talk about these things. Okay, and the last one is evaluate. We hit on them a little bit, evaluating. And not just like evaluating for the sake of, oh, today I did this, done. But the same idea that we talked about earlier is like when you work on stuff, did you get it done when you thought you were going to done? And did you get it done the way you thought it was going to be done? This is going to be huge because now you can say, okay, where did I go wrong? And you have it because you made a plan, you made a goal, you have things written down somewhere. You have them organized. And you either did it or didn't. And you have to be able to be accountable to yourself or tell someone. Like if you meet up with a group, you can post, this week I'm going to get this done. And then you can say, okay, did I get these things done? Yes or no? Okay, why didn't I get them done? Did I plan wrong? Again, like before we said, did I plan things wrong? Or I just can't get things done? And why not? And then you could fix it. Okay, how am I going to improve this? Do I need a Copilot? Is Copilot helping me? A lot of times where things go sideways a lot is when you think something's going to save you time, but it doesn't. And this is where evaluating what you do helps you. And one of those features is measuring, being able to measure your success. So if you say a plugin is going to save you time, my question is, how much time is it going to save you and how much is it going to cost you to implement that? So if there's a tool, for example, let's say I need a radar system for my game, a UI, and there's assets everywhere for radars. I buy the asset and then I put it in. And when I put it in, I'm like, how long does it take to set up? And at the end of the day, like if I had ChatGPT tell me how to code one, I could just code my own and it will fit my needs. And would that take longer? And probably depending on your skill level, it's the same, about the same, maybe less. And so it's a matter of, do you want to take the time to learn this plugin or do you want to take the time to just do it yourself? And if you're at the beginning of levels, I think learning to do it on your own is fine. It depends on the asset and what it is. Because oftentimes the assets are good to learn, not necessarily to put in your game as a final result. Because oftentimes you'll have to first learn it and then be able to adjust it for your needs. The only good thing about a plugin is that once you learn it, you can reuse it on other games because it's a plug and play, right? You just download it, put it in, and then you know how to modify it. So that's always nice. The other thing with understanding your scope and whatnot is I had this level design course. And you know what was interesting to me? A lot of people oftentimes, talk about Unreal and Unity, all that, and like Unity versus Unreal versus Godot, whatever. Like I personally don't care either way. I don't have a bias. I have my personal bias because I've used both. And I'm going to tell you one last thing that I've learned or seen. So this level design class is a class for game design and for level layout. Level layout is like a blockout, right? Where you have simple shapes. I think it's kind of like level blockout in Unreal is kind of, it depends. Like if you have a portfolio and the company that you want to work for maybe wants you to use Unreal for some reason, that might be a good thing. But for me, I find it silly because you don't need all the stuff that Unreal gives you to make a level layout. You could do it in Maya or whatever model package, or in Unity with Pro Builder. Like the funny thing is that in the course of this level design is while people were installing Unreal, first is installing Unreal and downloading like 20 gigs or 5, I don't know how many gigs to just install it, right? And you're going to do a level layout. You're going to install it. Then people would have the third character plugins that they downloaded from Unity, or I mean from Unreal, the asset store, whatever it's called. And it was a nightmare seeing like people having problems with duplicating the project files and this and that. Like so much hassle just to do a level design and have a character controller. Where in Unity, like I just like there's a template with a third person character, hit play, and Unreal has it too. But it was interesting, like the amount of problems that were with Unreal, where in Unity, you didn't have because there's like nothing, right? Unreal loads all these other assets, all this baggage that comes with it. And so like if you're not gonna make use of all the other stuff, why download something if you're just gonna white box? And so that's my only thing that was interesting, seeing that like the amount of time that they would have saved had they just used whatever engine they wanted or whatever thing they need. All you need to do is be able to hit play and move around with WASD and be able to see your map. So it was really interesting. And then the final thing is like making a build, because they had to make a build so that other people could play it. Like if if you want to, like, Unity is a lot easier to navigate and just build without any huge issues. And so Unity had a lot of easy things. So, but I saw a lot of problems with that, with Unreal, and like it has huge file size and all that. And so I don't mean to this on Unreal at all. I think it's a wonderful tool, and like you can use it. Like if you are faster in Unreal and you already know how it works, it's great. But I don't see a need to force yourself to think you have to learn something specific. I grew up with I learned Maya in school, and I wish I would have learned Blender. Blender is free and it's open source. I wish I would have learned Blender, honestly. Even though people say Maya is the industry standard, whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like I've learned Houdini, I've done all these other engines like for VFX pipelines and whatnot. And at the end of the day, like I realize now, it doesn't matter what people say. What matters is what you can get done. And so don't stress about what's better and what's best. Figure out what works for you, what resources you have available, and based on all the things you have, what will get you there faster. Because at the end of the day is, can you show it? Can you make a build and then give it to people? Because you are a creator. You want to create games and give it to clients or to people to play them. And then once you do that, you figure out how to do it better and better every time so that you can be better at making games. And then you can make a profit. And then you can build a studio. But it all comes down to like you making things happen. And Unreal, Unity, Maya, Blender, all those things are tools. They're tools that people build for you to use. And you decide how you're going to use those tools. Whether the hammer is $1,000 or $1, it's up to you how well it's used or not. And I hope these help you, because this is what I do every day, is understand what I'm trying to do, the goals, plan, evaluate, and constantly trying to cut down scope. If you focus on these, there's other things that you could say will help you remove distractions and whatnot. There's a lot of things that like overscoping and stuff. These are the source of all those troubles. When you know your goals, you know your plans, and you evaluate those, you will get to where you want to be, your purpose. And so you'll be able to use these to ask yourself, like, should I be doing marketing? Well, it depends, but should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Ask yourself, what's your purpose? What are your goals to get there? Your goal is like what you're trying to do right now. Right now, what do you do? Is this going to help you? Is doing a trademark and spending time on lawyer or like on fees to start your title trademark for a game that you don't even know if it's successful? You have a plan. Like, evaluate the things that you're doing. And once you evaluate those things, you'll be able to tell if you're supposed to do them or not. And don't try to rationalize and say, well, yeah, I think this is needed. No, like if it doesn't help you get it done, don't do it. I've seen people rationalize what they're doing and they end up not finishing, and then their game's on the shelf and they have to do other things, and now they can't go back to it because it takes so much time to get back to it, and they're still stuck, and they could have published a year ago, but they decided not to, and now they lost their window of time when they had time to work on the project. So I'm trying to save you time so you can get your games done, and we can have more fun out there, more games that people can play and experience, and better game developers out there that finish games. We'll see ya.